This is the post-voting steps to be done by the BEI after everyone has voted. We should perform the BEI should perform the closing functions of the PCOS by pressing the close voting menu option in the PCOS, and to print the 8 copies of the ER or election returns for the national and local positions. The BEI should also announce the total number of votes obtained by each candidate and post the copy of the ERs within the premise. And this should be accessible to anyone, to the public, so anyone can check the ER results. And this is a sample again, a certification to be done by the board members and the chairman. The next step is to make sure that the transmission cable is plugged in, and the PCOS to transmit the ER to the following: the Board of Canvassers, COMELEC Central Server of the dominant majority and minority parties. There are other servers like the duly accredited poll watchers. If PCOS is unable to transmit, the main memory will be placed in an envelope labeled "Not Transmitted" and will be physically brought to the RCG, to the Board of Canvassers. This is the reception and custody group, the COMELEC, and they will manually upload this memory chip. They should afterward they should print 22 more copies of the ERs to be distributed to the local majority parties and other parties. This is the canvassing and consolidation stage. This should also be electronically transmitted and will be used as a basis for consolidating and proclamation of the winning candidates for the city and municipal officials. This includes the mayor, the vice mayor, the councilors. Provincial officials, this includes the governors, the provincial board members, the vice governor, the members of the House of Representatives, senators and party list, president and vice president. This is the composition of the Board of Canvassers. For the Board of Canvassers, National BOC for President and Vice President, the Senate and the House Representative in a joint public session. The Congress should convene together. As for the National BOC for the Senators and Party List Representatives, the Chairman and members of the COMELEC sitting in back. As for the Provisional Board of Canvassers, the Provisional Election Supervisor or a COMELEC representative as Chairman, the Provisional Prosecutor as Vice Chairman, the District and School Superintendent as a member. For the Municipal Board of Canvassers, the election officer or a COMELEC representative as chairman, the municipal treasurer as the vice chairman, the district school supervisor, or in his absence, the most senior principal of the school district as member. In case of municipal and a city BOC is different because there's a city election officer, a COMELEC lawyer as chairman, the city prosecutor as vice chairman, and the division superintendent of the school as member. In cities with more than one election officer, the COMELEC shall designate the election officer who shall act as the chairman. In case of a district Board of Canvassers for legislative districts of a Metro Manila city comprising 2 cities or municipalities, the city election officer or COMELEC lawyer as chairman, the city prosecutor as vice chairman, the city superintendent of schools as member. Why are the composition of the BOC important? This is because this is the pre-proclamation is now limited to only 2 instances. Before, you can still attack the appreciation of the ballots, the appreciations of the counting, and use that as a pre-proclamation. Now, there's only 2 instances where you can have a pre-proclamation. The first one is the illegal composition of the Board of Canvassers, meaning one of the members is not one of these individuals. So, if they do this, that is a ground for a pre-proclamation. A second one, the last instance for pre-proc is for illegal proceedings of the BOC. Only under these 2 instances where you can have a pre-proclamation. This is very important because once the candidate is already proclaimed, then you have to go through an election protest and it takes longer. These are the duties of a board of canvassers. We have to canvass, consolidate the electronically transmitted results, generate and print a certificate of canvass, the certificate of canvass and proclamation, and statement of votes. The most important is to proclaim the winning candidates. These are to perform other functions as may be directed by the Comelec. I'm going to show to you in the next slides the difference between the manual and the electronic voting. Before, in a manual system of canvassing, this is how the manual counting goes. From the precinct, there's going to be a report to the Municipal City Board of Canvassers, and next to the Provincial Board of Canvassers, then the National Board of Canvassers, then Congress and Comelec. In the manual system, this will be the election returns will be physically transported to the Municipal City Board of Canvassers, and the Municipal City will issue a COC and SOPP, Statement of Vote, and physically transport this to the Provincial Board of Canvassers, and the Provisional Certificate of Canvass and Statement of Vote shall be physically transported to the National Board of Canvassers. This is the manual system of canvassing. The electronic transmission, it's the same, but there's another instances where the election returns from the precincts will be transmitted directly to the server for the dominant majority, minority parties, Citizens Arm, and the KBP. That's why it's very important to be determined. That's why the Liberal Party and the Nationalista Party are fighting over who is the dominant minority party, because they are entitled to the election returns to be transmitted directly to a server in their headquarters. The election return will also be transmitted electronically to the Comelec Central backup server. This is to ensure that in case of loss, to back up all these data, it will be electronically transmitted to the Comelec Central backup server. This is done through a secured public website. And the Municipal City and COC and the Provincial Board of Canvassers will also transmit their results to the Comelec Central backup server. This is to ensure that everything is backed up, to prevent any hanky-panky, prevent any blatant bias. That is why, like I said before, even if this is not 100%, this election, the automated election will not be 100%, but there will be kinks. It is still better because there will be a lot of checks and balances to prevent any blatant bias. This is better for us actually. And there will be a random manual count to make sure that, to have another check and balance, to make sure that the vote, the election result will reflect the actual vote, and to prevent other cheating, and to ensure that this will be an orderly and peaceful election.